name is Mike Barnes and I represent Go Power, and we supply the solar panel system to this unit. And I've got a list of questions that evidently a lot of people have asked about. The first thing I want to talk about before I get into the questions is this manual should be in your packet from your owner's manuals. And this will, everything that I'm going to be answering is in this pamphlet. So for the first question on here is, what does the solar panel controller control? It controls the wattage and amps going into the battery. All right, what that means is this is a 4-stage charger. It's full charge when it needs to be, medium charge, trickle charge, and it will turn itself off when the battery is fully charged. So that's what the controller basically handles. Now you'll see right here it says battery type, and this says AGM. You have amp and voltage. All right, this is set on voltage. All right, what you have to do is set the battery for what type of battery you're using, because an AGM battery setting, if it was a flooded battery, like one that you have to constantly fill with water, if it's set on the wrong setting, it will put too much charge into it and it will cause it to boil over and you lose your water. The next question is the battery SOC accurate? This is accurate to 0.1%. Most of the time, if you see another gauge that's checking your battery, you're going to see that they're identical or very, very close. And it says the next question is how to set the battery type, and that's what I said. But one thing to remember, once you set the battery, you leave it alone. You never have to touch that setting again unless you change batteries. If you went from a flooded battery to an AGM battery to a lithium battery, whatever, you have to change it at that point, and then once again leave it alone. Okay, it says, what do errors mean? Well, believe it or not, I've had errors on, it's not connected to the battery. And that is explained in the manual on page 5. And it goes through and it shows you if you have the different settings. This is red and it just means that it's on, the battery's connected. If it's flashing, that means there's no battery. On page 6, it goes through PO1, if it's flashing, means you have reverse polarity in the system. PO2 means you're over voltage. But everything on this is on page 6. A 601 means your battery's disconnected or it's down less than 3 volts. So on page 6 we'll answer just about every one of those questions, 5 and 6. So solar panel, again, what numbers mean? The numbers that come up on the screen are your warning devices. You never shut this off unless you have a major warn, like you're charging too high into the system. Other than that, you never shut the system off because this maintains your battery. Some people want to store their unit inside a building. For whatever reason, they've decided to have a shutoff on that. Okay, solar panel maintenance. Soap and water. When you wash your unit, wash the solar panel. That's it. What to do for storing your unit outside for 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, a year, I don't care. You do nothing other than make sure that you're in an area where the sun will get to the panels to keep your batteries charged. Batteries go dead because people don't keep them charged. The solar keeps them charged. So you do not have to do anything at all other than make sure that you're not underneath trees or you got debris on there, or in the winter time if there's a foot of snow on there, you got to brush that off. This is a very common question about the flex panel. The flex panel is the most accurate, most exclusive panel on the market today. Most people don't understand that the solar panel business has been out for 85 years, but it's been glass panels. The glass panels, if you look at it, you'll see little lines running across them. Those are the conductors. Well, the conductors being on the outside of the cell cut back on the amount of UV that it's getting to charge the battery. So a glass panel tends to be a lot bigger than the flex panel. Adhering this to the metal roof of this van means absolutely nothing. It will not cause any issues or anything else. These things have been out in the desert. They've been all over the place. They will heat up a little bit hotter than a glass panel, but it's like 5%. So it's nothing worth worrying about. So that being said, whether it's a glass panel or it's a flex panel, the flex panel is the newest thing on the market. All of its conductors are behind the cell, so you end up with a much smaller panel and a lot easier to maintain more panels on a roof area than a glass panel. Okay, the durability between a glass panel and a flex panel, they both go through the same testing, a 1-inch ice cube at 75 mile an hour to hit it. One thing I do with the flex panel is I walk across it, I jump up and down on it, throw it in the air. It's pretty hard to hurt it. A glass panel, if it's hit just right, can crack the glass. If the glass is cracked, doesn't mean it's going to kill the panel. It just means that somebody did something, whether you hit a tree or whatever. So they can be damaged, but it takes an awful lot to damage them. Solar panel is left on, and you have, in this case, the portable unit, which we'll show you in a minute. If that portable unit is sitting outside, it will maintain the battery. Yes, parasitic draws will kill your battery. Most of you're using a lithium battery, correct?
AGM standard.
AGM standard and lithium. Those batteries are top of the line batteries. It takes a lot more to hurt them than it does a flooded battery, but they can still be hurt. What people forget about is you have LP detectors, smoke detectors, your refrigerator's got a computer on board. There's a lot of things where you have computers and you think it's off, just like your dashboard. You think it's off when you turn the key off. It's not. So depending on what all you have in the unit, you can actually drain a battery in a week. Travel trailers are notorious for it because they go out camping, and when they come home, they're tired, they got to unload everything. Last thing they remember is plugging their unit in to keep the batteries charged. So again, solar plays a big hand in that. One of the things that's not listed here that I want to bring up, if you notice it says 12.7 volts. I have people all the time calling me up saying something's wrong with my system, it's showing 13.7 or it's 13.4. 13.7 is a flooded battery, 13.4 is AGM. That's its max charge. Yes, it's still a 12 volt battery, but it can be charged past 12 volts. And this is a question I get more than anything else. This is the Go Power portable unit. Comes in this little carrying case. This happens to be a 90 watt panel. We have them in 90, 130, and 200 watts. This is in addition to what's up on the roof. So if somebody wants to add more power into their solar system, it's very simple. You undo the bag. On the back of this, if you notice, is another control panel. The control panel works just like that one. A on this means setting the battery. B goes through volts and so forth. Now remember, it said 12.7 in there. This says 12.8 because this now is starting to throw more power into the unit. So you have all this together. This comes with a standard with a 15-foot cord that plugs into your power cord right here, and it can only be put in one way. So this can be put out wherever you want to gain more sun. It does the same thing as what it does on the roof, except this is mobile. You can move it around.